My dad thought it was a good idea to start off the video at the Dunster train station, and actually it is coming in the distance. There are a few people on the station waiting for it. How many do you think there are, Dad? About 20, 30?
Yes, this is where we made the railway children with Jenny and Butter. A lot of people have seen the railway children. I think it was anyway.
This place is a blast from the past. How old is it? 100 years? 200? 150?
150-ish.
150 years old?
That's just me.
Everybody who works in this railway does it as a volunteer.
There are over 600
600 what?
volunteers.
600 volunteers? There are 600 volunteers,
Over.
over 600 volunteers working at this railway.
Along the line from the
Oh, it's coming.
which is from Ninehead to Bishop Lydia. It's taken out.
As we walk to this station, my dad just said that if you come to the station, you can have a look at the furnace and all the dials, gauges and stuff.
Directing.
Dad, that looks like a different train than what was here yesterday.
It's only coming backwards. Why is it coming backwards?
Is it coming backwards?
Yes, it's reversed. Well, I just don't know what's going on. I wonder.
Well, my dad's all surprised why the train's coming backwards.
Yes, Thomas.
I thought the train looks a bit different.
And why does it stop there when no one can get on? Will I be shunting it off the main railway? This is very, very unfortunate for our filming.
Okay, well, Dad, let's get in there. I asked you yesterday, does the train go backwards? And you said no. No, it doesn't go backwards, it just goes around.
It is. Yeah,
No, it's not backwards, it's a different steam engine.
Yeah, of course. On the way. We've got to follow it.
Oh, it's backwards.
Of course it is.
Okay, Dad, let's get out there and...
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dad, there's boiling hot water coming out of there. Oh,
At the angle.
I guess he's cooling down the coal or something.
Famous thing, it's not those famous jobs.
Yeah. Well, he's got to keep it warm in there, doesn't he?
Just put more on it to cool it down.
Excuse me, how old is the steam engine?
1940s, isn't it? The old stuff is the old one here in the 20s.
1920s.
Thank you.
Bye.
Just cycling.
There's quite a lot of people on the train. It's quite full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite full. I would never expect on like a Wednesday morning there'd be so many people on the train. Okay, Dad, let's get back to the old route. Nope, I didn't need to yesterday. I just bubbled on for the whole hour. Well, yesterday, if you watched that other video, but then I guess that, you know, it takes a bit of stamina to watch the video for over an hour. Well, my phone ran out of memory, so it stopped just a bit past this train track.
Now I'm going to carry on.
And yeah, we're getting there. So my plan for today is to take you from the train track into Dunster Village. Now, Dunster Village is quite special because it says in the museum, which we're going to go to, that it is the best preserved English village from the medieval period. And as you know, the medieval period is the Autochar. So it's like, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 years old. Okay. Through the gate. Okay. Off we go. Come on, Dad.
I'm coming.
So, Dad, what do you remember about my old granddad? What comes to your mind?
Molly!
You see, my granddad was a traditional old guy. He used to sit in the living room watching the television, and his wife, Molly, my granddad's name was Bill, used to always live in the kitchen. In fact, she rarely came into the living room, did she?
No, not really.
I mean, did you ever see her watching the television? No?
To be truthful.
She was always in the kitchen doing whatever women do in the kitchen. Mostly cooking, but she used to sit there for hours. And my granddad, when he fancies a cup of tea, used to just shout out, "Molly! Molly!
Tea, Molly!
Tea, Molly!" You know, as if she's in a different, or as if she's in a different street. You know? I mean, all the neighbours could hear him shouting out, "Molly! Tea, Molly!"
And then he'd fall asleep.
And then my grandmother used to answer, "Yes, Bill! Yes, Bill!" And I remember one time, that actually happened once when I was there. Okay. One time, he was drinking his tea, and you see my grandfather had quite a big beer belly. He was watching the television. My grandmother gave him the tea, and my grandfather used to he didn't used to put the tea on a table. He didn't have to, because he could kind of put it on his stomach. Okay, well let's just wait for this car to go past. Yes. So my grandmother gave him the tea, and my grandfather kind of puts it on his stomach. But you see, sometimes he falls asleep. And I remember we're watching the television, my grandfather falls asleep with a tea on his stomach, and then he wakes up about 15 minutes later, and he's really angry. He's like, "Molly, why have you given me cold tea?" I mean, he's even done it with food too. You know, he's eating his breakfast, some eggs and bacon and beans and stuff, and then he puts it on his stomach, and he's eating away. And then he falls asleep, and then like 10 minutes later it's like, "Why are you giving me cold beans, Molly?" Well, you know, I mean, the time to appreciate them is when they're alive, you know. But, you know, me and my father, you know, I guess we appreciate my grandfather most after he's gone. And there's a TED lecture which I share, I guess about once a month, which is about interviewing your old relatives. So after they die, you have a kind of a video record of them. You can hear their voice, you can see them, and I think it's a good idea. If you have got some old Dad, should we do it today with you? Okay, and here we go here. Now, quite a mechanism just to open a gate, but anyway, through here. So Dad, it's a good idea, isn't it? You have some old relatives.
Oh well, people
and
have been doing that for a long time, leaving videos and CDs.
And you take a video record of them, their lives. So after they die, you know, 10 years, 20 years later, and even 2 or 3 generations later, maybe 4 or 5, you'll have a record of,
show your grandchildren.
Yeah, grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren. I think it's a good idea. I wish I had done it with mine. And even your dad.
Yes, of course. Yes, they still had little cinemas there.
No, they had some great stories.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great story. After you've heard it like 20 times, it's not so great. But yeah, some of the stories, if you hear it once, is fantastic. I mean, I had one grandfather who was my mother's father. He was in the Second World War in Europe. And my father's father was in the Second World War in the Navy. He wasn't a soldier. He was he a stoker?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Called a stoker. And they're the guys on the steamships
Shoveling coal in the boilers.
shoveling the coal in the boilers. And he told me one story of when the kamikazes were coming in. Some of the guys working in the boilers had to go up on the machine guns and shoot down the kamikazes. Now, it would have been great to take a video of those stories, but I guess also we didn't really have the technology in those days. Another feature of Minehead and Dunster village is that over there in the distance there is a big national park called Exmoor. Good morning.
Hello.
And my dad just said before that these guys, and they're working in the stream. What are they doing, Dad?
Clearing the stream.
Clearing the stream
Of all the growth.
of all the growth. Here we go. Let's see one of the guys like in action. There he is. Clearing the stream. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
I mean, as you can imagine, the stream gets clogged up with all stuff, leaves, bodies.
No.
Okay, over this little bridge. Stream. Ah, Dad, did I? I don't know if I deleted yesterday's video.
What, as regards keeping it on your phone?
Well, as regards for this to be able to go for an hour. I don't know, maybe it's going to go off soon.
Well, I just thought we could have changed it off after the train and saved everything else.
No, actually, I mean, when you get going, it's actually quite easy to talk. Just go on for an hour.
Yeah, you've been sort of a load of crap.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is English. This is English practice.
Shooting down the kamikaze. The only kamikaze you've seen is in the pub.
Dad, the legend of your dad is like, you know.
Yeah, he's got medals to prove it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he showed. I remember him. I remember him showing us his medals. Okay, Dad. Well, we're coming up to something I want to show. Dad, can you explain what that box is on the table?
Not at all.